We are doing Module 9 of this Introduction to Financial Accounting course. Module 9 is about liabilities, and specifically, this module focuses on bonds and bond accounting. And so far, we have learned what the time value of money is, and we established that when the interest rates go up, the present values decrease, and when the interest rates go down, the present values increase. So, what are bonds? Bonds are just another form of a liability. So, rather than borrowing from a bank, which charges a higher interest rate, companies, countries, municipalities, they can issue bonds, which are rather cheaper because they carry a lower interest rate component. So, for example, if a company, ABC Inc., wants to borrow or wants to raise $1 billion, if they go to a bank, the bank probably won't lend them this much money. Even if they do, they will charge a really high interest rate. So what ABC Inc. can do is they can borrow $1 million each from 1,000 people at a cheaper interest rate. So for example, in this case, the company offers an interest rate of 4%, and then bonds normally pay interest semi-annually. So $1 million times 4% is $40,000. This will be an annual amount. And like I said, bonds pay interest semi-annually. So this will be $20,000 every 6 months. And so one component is the interest. So the company will borrow this money, $1 million, from every single person of these 1,000 people. The company will pay $20,000 every 6 months or $40,000 annually in interest. And then at the end of the bond term, which could be 10 years, 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years, there are even century bonds, like 100-year bonds. At the end of the term, the company has to return that money. So every one of these people, 1,000 people, when the bond matures, let's say after 30 years or 40 years, they will get that $1 million back. Now, this looks pretty simple up until this point, but accounting for bonds is a bit more complicated, and here is the reason. When the ABC company takes this bond to the market to raise this money, investors, these 1,000 people, will look at this bond, they will look at the company, and they will make a calculation. They will look at the credit rating of the bond, the history of the company, and then the prevailing market interest rates for similar kind of risk, similar bonds. And they might determine that, you know what, the interest rate should not be 4%. It should be 4.5%. And then what they are going to do is, and this is getting into a bit more finance, is they are going to discount these $20,000 that they are getting every 6 months and the $1 million that they are going to be paid at the end of the bond term using this market interest rate. And when they do that, and I'm going to bring you over here, when they're going to do that, when they're going to use the higher interest rate, the present value is going to be lower than this $1 million. Let's say it comes out to be $990,000. So what they are saying is this future value, this $1 million plus the interest that we're getting, its present value today should be $990,000 and not $1 million. In other words, remember our example in our previous videos where we said if we want to have $121 in future and the interest rate is this much, this is how much do we need to invest. So in this example, the investors are saying we want $1 million in future. That's going to come back to us, plus the interest payments that we are getting every 6 months. If we want these things in future and the interest rate, the market rate is 4.5%, how much do we need to invest should be not $1 million, just $990,000. And I just came up with this number. The actual number might be different. So when that happens, ABC company has to sell this bond at a discount. They cannot take $1 million each from these people. Rather, they will have to take a hit and they will take $990,000 from the market or from these people. So this is when the bond gets sold at a discount.